Do 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 do. I call her Paula and I keep her hidden. You've been waiting for another She Ain't. I know you have. I know you have. Oh, babies, I know you have. And I'm here to give it to you. Now, this one in particular, we're separating into 3 parts because if I give you everything now, I won't be able to get my stuff packed. I won't be able to book this Airbnb. All the stuff I'm trying to get fixed and taken care of by today on this Wednesday. But when I tell you, part 1 of 3 for this, there's a few actors and actresses I need to drag real quick. And I'll be nice. No, I won't. Cue my theme. Listen. Yeah! Yes, God! Get that out of there! Everybody, it's your boy Matty Rants. Thank you so much for tuning in. Do me a favor, hit that like button, like smash it. You know what I mean? Like don't break the keyboard, but like kind of like make it look a little like, whew, girl, did you have to hurt me so hard? I wanted him to know. Share this video with your friends and your family and anybody else that you really care about or anybody that you don't care about so they can find out who I am. Why is my foot getting caught in this? And also subscribe to the channel. Become a part of this rant pack family. We'd love to have you here. My name's Dave. No, it's not. It's Matty. Anywho, these are my social media links downstairs. Follow me at MattyRants on both Instagram and Facebook and at the MattyRants on Twitter. And you also, if you can, if you would like to, please and thank you, donate to the channel. That's paypal.me/MattyRants, Cash App, $MattyRants, Venmo, Matty-Rants. I'm done with my introductions. Here are the links provided. Now I must drag a few people. So listen. This one, I wanted to talk about some particular actors that I felt took some roles or did some things or just stuff in particular I wasn't really feeling, and I feel they ain't. So I'm going to bring them up. And some of these people have had awards given to them. They've had recognition. But then there's another role or two they take that completely wipes away what history they were trying to make. There are certain actors and actresses that make a few blips here and there, but their resume is normally very clean and concise. You know where they're going. If they pop up into something very random that's not about them or something that doesn't seem like their character, we're normally either like, oh, this is going to be bad or this is going to be really, really good. Some of these actors and actresses don't have that luxury. It's been few and far in between. Skip a pebble across the lake, watch it sink. That kind of situation. I started with Halle Berry. It'd be too easy because she's been in the headlines recently for almost taking a trans male role and instead not. But there's another one who I want to start with first who actually did the same thing. Oh, and this one I think is overrated as hell. Before I start, these are my opinions. Just mine. They're not everybody's. Everything that I'm saying is just out of an opinion. If you are offended by these opinions, these are just that, opinions. You may find them to be the best actress or actor ever, and they have just done it all for you. For me, upset stomach, diarrhea, indigestion, Pepto-Bismol. Not in that order. Ooh, would that be a horrible order? It's like upset stomach, then all of a sudden the flow, and then indigestion. Scarlett Johansson, you're first up. Oh. Scarlett. Girl, let's see here. Hold on, baby. Have you really gone through Scarlett Johansson's movies? There's not that many that were actually interesting or good, just being very honest with you. Not that many. She landed that role in the Avengers, and it was on from there, to be honest with you. When they casted her as Black Widow, I was like, oh, we'll be seeing her a lot now. And that's kind of what happened. Now, I did enjoy a couple different movies that she was in when she happened to be a voiceover character in this one particular film called Isle of Dogs. So good. It's so good. You gotta watch it. It's by one of my favorite directors, Wes Anderson, and I would highly recommend that one. I didn't like Marriage Story. I didn't understand why she was nominated for Marriage Story. I found that to be one of the most long, expressive study groups of trying to act in a situational moment with somebody yelling at you in a room. Couldn't do it. Didn't find it to be realistic. Wasn't there for it. If that's how arguments go down, I'm giggling because I've seen it much worse. And even in a visual representation on film, I thought that was trash. But honestly, like Zoo. We Bought a Zoo with Matt Damon. That was a movie. That actually was a movie. We Bought a Zoo. It was not good. She's actually had more success to me as far as me liking her as an actress, or more so a voice actor, in animated roles. She was also in Sing. That was a good movie. Girl with the Pearl Earring was okay. Vicky Cristina Barcelona was overrated. It's just, there's a lot. Lost in Translation, I think, was, you know what, if we're really going to go there with Scarlett, Lost in Translation was kind of like where everyone really started to get a notice of her because, you know, her and Bill Murray was trying to get his resurgence back into Hollywood. And I'm certain Bill Murray thought he was going to get an Oscar for this movie. And after he didn't, it was like, F it. Oh, but this isn't about the stuff that I kind of don't like and kind of like, or kind of cool, I'm kind of cool with. I mean, again, she is good in Avengers for what she's working with. I'm not a fan, personally. Under the Skin, though, a lot of people hate that movie. Love it. I like weird art piece stuff where there's very little dialogue and I have to just make up everything as it's going based on the visual representation that the director and the way the script landed these people into their pivot points. But I want to talk about the fact that this woman played a Asian character from a very, 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 very popular anime series. And if someone's like, really, Matt, very popular? Yes, because a lot of young kids out here who don't know about Ghost in the Shell, baby. When I was watching Toonami back in the day, when I was the one that was trying to find some shows and some animes and trying to get in with the get in, Ghost in the Shell was that girl. With that being said, seeing Scarlett Johansson take the role, and I'm going to read this name to you, and you can tell me it's acting and this, that, and the other, but girl, pay attention. Scarlett Johansson's character's name was Motoko Kusanagi. Scarlett Johansson, The Reach. She faced a lot of controversy over this character, and then later on, she also was about to take on a role of a trans role with this movie called Rub and Tug. God, I hope that was never made. Was that made? I don't want to know. I don't want to know. God, no, I don't want to know. But Scarlett then was trying to defend her casting choices by saying in an article with USA Today, I'm just going to paraphrase some of this article here. Almost exactly a year ago, the actress dropped out of a film, Rub and Tug, following a heavy backlash that argued a cisgender woman should not play a transgender man. In 2017, Johansson also was criticized for the Japanese manga, which was manga. Oof. Japanese manga / anime Ghost in the Shell with her role of Motoko Kusanagi. Acting goes through trends, Johansson said in a recent interview with As If. You know, as an actor, I should be allowed to play any person or any tree or any animal because that is my job and the requirements of my job. There are a lot of social lines being drawn now, and a lot of political correctness is being reflected in art. Now, she then later stated that was taken out of context, and that's not what she was referring to, but yes, you were, and that's what you meant, and so here we go. Scarlett, so you're telling me as your job as an actress, if they offered you a position or a role as, say, a black woman in some sort of civil rights movement, as an actress, you're going to do what? Study and see how much you need to look like her and how you can darken your skin like her and study black struggles and civil rights movement era. That's what you're going to do. So you're going to go outside and also find yourself a nice cedar tree, a cedar. I feel that you couldn't do redwood. That's for the good girls. A cedar. You're going to go outside and you're going to sit by that cedar. And what are you going to do? Stare at it, take a little bit of the bark, lick on it, lay next to it, bathe the bitch. Is that how you're going to be a tree? An animal. So you're now going to sit in the ocean and you're going to swim with the jellyfish because that's what your role requires? Shut up. You sound stupid. You do. This is stupid. You have a privilege as, you already know what I'm going to say. She knows what her privilege is. So why would you take that and then roll with roles that way? That role for Ghost in the Shell belonged to somebody else. I don't care if they offered it to you. Or if anybody else that wasn't of Asian descent or of some sort of Japanese background. You shouldn't have taken it. That's it. It doesn't go any further than that. It shouldn't have even been discussed. When you got that and you saw it, you should have been like, It was not the role of a lifetime. Not for you. Okay? I saw the box office records. And trust me, had the right casting been done, Hollywood, that would have been a good one. Ooh, but the movie itself had some issues too. You need to work on the scripting. But still, no ma'am. God, she was in Lucy. Y'all remember that? Like, Scarlett's like just walking through the street. Boom, 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 boom. I cannot. Oh, that's the first one. Scarlett Johansson, she out the way. Yuck. Let's give some honorable mentions to actors who I think took roles that were kind of crazy. Cuba Gooding Jr. in almost everything. Sorry. Why did you need to be radio? Did you really need to be radio? Honestly, Cuba, did you really need to be radio? I understand what you were trying to do for that baby, but really? Now, this one is being argued as not being a big deal, but I would like to stress that it can be a big deal in certain senses, so I don't want it to be looked at and go, oh no, we'll give him a pass. Robert Downey Jr. in Tropic Thunder played this actor. It's funny because it was a funny movie, but he played this actor who was in blackface. But hold on, people, hold on. It wasn't meant to, as they quote the joke, it wasn't meant to be offensive to black people. It was meant to be a thing against white actors or actresses who like to play POC roles, making fun of people who do that. So that's the joke, and we're supposed to get on it. So when everybody else who did blackface on Twitter, on TikTok and all those other videos, was that the same thing or was that different? Because we're being told it's one thing. It is a funny movie, man. However, when I do see him, I feel some kind of way. And I'm not going to sit there and just dog that film, but I get what they were trying to do, but sometimes what you're trying to do isn't necessarily what you're going to do. Ask G a gun. Okay? And sometimes wiping front to back is not going to clean the rest of the back to the front. You see? That's another one. How about Tom Cruise in almost everything? I'm sorry. I'm not a fan of Tom Cruise. I think Tom Cruise plays the same role in every movie. He also runs the same way in every film. I mean, 5'7", I have never seen them knees run up so high, and I'm questioning his 5'7" height too. I think Tom Cruise is just a tad bit overrated. Opinions. There are some good movies that he was in. Some. If we want to take questionable roles into place here, The Last Samurai would be the one for me with him. Oh God, just there's been a lot of stuff with him. Girl, hold on, let's go through this Tom Cruise list. Let me go through this, Tom. Okay, Interview with the Vampire was good. However, are we not going to talk about Kirsten Dunst being like definitely underage and having these grown men like be on her like that? Ooh, I found a good movie from Tom Cruise I liked. Collateral with Jamie Foxx, who is a hit and miss actor too. Oh God, Jamie Foxx. I'm not going to have that conversation. Okay. You want to talk about people who got an Oscar because they just got an Oscar? That part. Yeah, Collateral was good. Vanilla Sky was trash. The Mummy was trash. War of the Worlds was okay. Dakota Fanning almost ruined that movie for me with all of her screaming and then Tom Cruise getting manic and then not manic and manic and not manic and his son being an entire dickwad the entire movie. Eyes Wide Shut was trash. I hated that was Stanley Kubrick's film because I love Stanley Kubrick's aesthetic as far as filmmaking is concerned, but I hated that movie. Hated it. Mission Impossible was why are there so many? I know this is like James Bond type of feelings, but like, why are there so many Mission Impossibles? The only ones I liked were 1, I think 2, and the one with Paula Patton, and that's it. And I was like, I'm out. Minority Report, Risky Business, yeah. Jerry Maguire, overrated. Jack Reacher, trash. Fallout, trash. Edge of Tomorrow, trash. Top Gun, and there you go. So, Tom Cruise. I'm like, let's just go through, do another actor, and just run through all these films that I can find on Google. Nicolas Cage. I cannot stand Nicolas Cage. I think Nicolas Cage is the same person in every movie as well. Like, literally. Oh, Nicolas Cage. He's almost Keanu Reeves, who I will get to in just a second here. They're the same. That's like his uncle or like older brother. Like, you want to talk about, why do I need to talk like this through every movie? And, oh my goodness. And when I yell, I get really upset. I cannot. Let's go. Face Off. I was young when I saw that, so it was okay. Now I think it's trash. Con Air. I actually liked Con Air. Something about Menzies is in a plane just flying around all chained up and stuff. God, sounds like a good time. No, it don't. National Treasure, didn't care for it. Mandy, didn't care for it. I've seen these movies, by the way. Leaving Las Vegas, I was okay with that one. That's an older film. I wouldn't watch it again, but I wasn't mad when I first saw it. Gone in 60 Seconds, hated it. Hated it. Hated it. Overrated. There are certain movies. Nicolas Cage actually is the actor for particular audiences, just like Tom Cruise. You know what I'm talking about, the machismo type of factor, where there's certain people who need to see movies like this to recalibrate their masculinity and figure out if all their testosterone's still in check. As a man who is in touch with his feminine side, I can tell you that I do like a lot of action movies. I am a fan. I just don't want to see Nicolas Cage be that person in an action movie. Give me somebody interesting. Ghost Rider, horrible. One of the worst Marvel movies to ever be created or existed. Do not put him in another one. Do not recreate it. Do not try this again. It will not work. Ghost Rider is not a great Marvel character. I said it. Do it. What you want to do. Horrible, horrible Marvel character. Horrible. Raising Arizona, decent. Not bad. Adaptation, that's one of my only movies I can watch with Nicolas Cage and be like, this is actually a really legit good film. The Rock, that's a classic. Don't want to talk about it. My family took me to go see it when I was 10. It's a classic. It's trash, but it's a classic. Nicolas Cage was in Moonstruck, and Moonstruck was a good movie, so we're not going to be bad at that. Wicker Man, I liked Kick-Ass. Kick-Ass was really good. That was a fun one. Lord of War, no. Season of the Witch, no. Drive Angry, no. Next, oh my God, that one was, it just gets worse. Listen, I don't want to go too long or too deep into Nicolas Cage's terrible acting career and his journey of playing the same person in every movie. 8mm was kind of good. But that's just how I feel. He's actually had a very, 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 very long history in films and playing lots of roles of the same person again. So, yeah, Nicolas Cage, trash. And last on this quick fire is Keanu Reeves. Okay, y'all. The Matrix, the first one, not the sequels. I'll say it again. Not the sequels, the first one. I will give him. Okay? I will give him. Speed was a great movie. My introduction as a child to Keanu Reeves. That was my first movie I've ever seen him in, and my first Sandra Bullock movie too. My parents took us to see it in the movie theater. I remember being a little kid. Like, y'all have to think about this. I was 8 years old when I saw that. And it was me, my brothers, and my sisters, my mom and my dad were all just sitting there watching this movie in the theater, and it was everything. It was everything as a kid. The sequel was terrible, but we won't get into that. So that's all I got. That's it. That's the only. I'm scrolling through here. Do I see anything else I liked from Keanu Reeves? No. The Gift was okay, but that wasn't really his movie, in my opinion. He had a role, but I wasn't focused on him. Yep. Okay. I'll keep it short. Keanu Reeves plays the same person in every movie. He talks the same way in everything that he does. It's this, what? I don't understand, but I totally get it. I can't do it. I won't do it. I will not. And some people find him hot. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. I've seen the movies. What is it? And John Wick. John Wick would be the last of the movies I'd give you all any kind of anything with, Mr. Keanu. But it's a no-go for me, baby. It's a no. It's a not. It's a I don't get it. I don't care. Grow your hair, grow a beard, whatever the case may be. You will be the same person in every movie to me. Before I get on to Miss Halle Berry, hey Zoe Saldana, green skin, then this. What happened? We were rooting for Zoe. I was rooting for Zoe. I was, and then this happened, and now we don't really see her that much. Unless maybe there's going to be another Guardians of the Galaxy, and I think there is, and we'll see. But let's talk about Halle Berry, because this is why we're here today. Honestly, we could do a lot of actors and actresses, but I got to talk about this lady. So, see, here's the thing about Halle Berry. Halle Berry was at this point of almost being the most protected kind of actress, really, because as Black Americans and those of us who watched a lot of films, there were certain actresses and actors who were Black that we particularly were like, We will not drag them. We will protect them. They are the best of the best of the best. I felt Halle Berry was in that crew of people, especially during the late 90s, early 2000s period when she got her Oscar or was going to go and get the Oscar. It was that pathway that she was taking. Now, I like some movies from Halle. I am a fan of Miss Berry. Ooh, but there have been so many oohs and oh no's when it comes to roles that she's taking. And there are also things that I've noticed with her that I cannot just like sit by and pretend like aren't like a thing when it comes to acting, and me as a movie buff and someone who's very critical about things I watch. So let's start with positives. Halle Berry and Dorothy Dandridge was everything. That was a great movie. I wish it was more theater bound. I think that was HBO, if I'm correct, or it was either HBO or Showtime. But that was a really good movie, man. And she did a good job in that one. I believe she was nominated for a Golden Globe or an Emmy for that one for television or like, what is it, TV movie or something of the sorts. Something of that. I did like her in X-Men 2 and Days of Future Past. That's it. And then Losing Isaiah was a very emotional film to watch as a kid. I did like Monsters Ball. That film is very special for me as a critic and someone who talks about movies a lot, because my mom took me to go see that when I was very young, and we went to the Angelica movie theater in Houston before it became the Sundance Theater or whatever it's called now. When I tell you, my mother tried to close my eyes so quickly when the whole "I want you to make me feel real good" part happened. She wasn't quick enough, and I witnessed the entire spectacle of that situation. Why the cage bird sings, baby, because that bird was trying to get out that cage badly. Halle was gripping for the bird cage, mama. That pain was so right. Billy Bob Thornton, I would never believe it. I would imagine every time it clapped, that powdered milk or some sort of like asbestos would fly out of the situation. Girl, it was... Woo, that was a movie. It was hard to watch in certain scenes, a lot of racial tensions, and when her son was hit by the car and she was in the hospital, I knew she won that Oscar that right there in the hospital, baby. When they put that cover over her son and she started screaming and banging on the window, oh, it was hers. It was hers. It was hers. All hers. But I'm not about to sit here and kiss her butt when I know that she's done so many terrible, 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 terrible movies. Halle Berry loses a child in every movie. It started with Losing Isaiah. Then we have, Kidnap. Almost every movie, she's got some shitty piss and go wig. Piss and go, not shake, piss and go. Because obviously she had to stand and pee and then walk up and get out because it was a quick day. She wanted to get back to the dance floor. These piss and go wigs. Always these little cute babies and they get stolen. She turns around for 2 seconds and then the entire hour and 30-minute movie we have her chasing down somebody that took her child. I cannot do this. Y'all remember The Call? She was a 911 operator for that one. And she still had a child get taken. It wasn't even her baby. Help me understand this. I can't do it. Please call somebody else for missing child roles. Halle Berry cannot be the mom who loses a child in every movie. And that's also because Halle Berry's voice range is not that high. Please follow and listen to every film she's in. Her transfer rate between modulations in tones are not high and they're not strong. Just like Janet Jackson, whenever she screams, it's a sound like that. It's not an actual yell. It's almost like a crying goat, possibly being stabbed in the back, but trying to figure out how to climb up some stairs at the same time. Complications. We haven't even gotten to Gothica yet. Do y'all remember Gothica? Do you remember Gothica? Please tell me you remember Gothica. Okay, this horror movie had this lady who was supposed to be put in the psych ward because she killed her husband, but really she was possessed by some ghost who her husband had been messing with or whatever, or was torturing or killed or something of the sort. And so the ghost was getting revenge by going through Halle Berry to get to her husband. Yes, that was the premise of the movie. And Robert Downey Jr. was in there playing not a good role. But to me, the worst of the worst of the worst of the worst of the worst was Catwoman. It wasn't even DC comic based. Dear God, what? Oh, Lord, she was Storm, so she's going to be able to play Catwoman. She's a sexy woman. This is going to happen. No, just because she's beautiful and she's sexy and people want to do things, that doesn't give them the right to place particular roles or have that movie written in the first place. That movie was awful. Awful. Let's go over the premise right now. Halle Berry is a loser. in this movie. She's a loser at a design at a design company. She tries to do better at her job and she ends up getting in trouble and then killed because she learned a secret. So they wash her away, or she runs away into the sewer to get washed away by toilet water. Mama had toilet water push her out into the ocean. She low-key drowned, but not really. Arrived on a rock somewhere in New York City or wherever the hell that was. What was that? And then these cats licked her, and she woke up, and all of a sudden, so dangerous. Y'all remember that song? So scared. Oh, is it scandalous? Was it dangerous or scared? So dangerous. I can't remember. That little group had that one song with that movie, and that was a wrap. But listen, that movie was terrible. Benjamin Bratt, I don't see your career has not resumed the way it used to since then. And Sharon Stone, what were you doing in that film? Seriously, like, help us all out by understanding what was the purpose of you being there. And why, when Sharon Stone's character was killed or whatever, when she fell, it looked like this. What in the pinwheel? What is happening here? I got to keep on talking to make sure this audio is right. So let's just keep this rolling through. Halle Berry, everybody who I named in this situation here, all of you, she ain't. I ain't going to say S-H-I-T. I will say this. She ain't making the right decisions. She ain't letting her agent do the right thing by giving them roles that are actually going to be good for them. She ain't reading the script. She ain't acting. Oh, I can't. So much for tuning in. I gotta go ahead and get this edited and posted for you today, and then the next day or so I'm gonna try to get out of here in this house and get moved into my new place. Thank you again for everybody who's donated to the channel and who's been very supportive with what's going on. Y'all know I've been going through it and I've needed definite support, and right now what's happening. So I appreciate you and everything that everybody's done. Next week's She Ain't is still gonna be in the movie theme. This time we're gonna dig into some other stuff when it comes to bullshittery that we've seen in movies and television. I think I want to do worst movies ever next time. Just worst. The worst. Hugs and kisses, my best love and wishes to your boy Matty Rants. I will talk to you later. I love you. See you soon. Bye.